Well, my friends, it's another day, another lack of dollars. This is now the second time we've done this entire introduction because I'm an idiot and I don't know how to press record. Welcome back to the BLT podcast. I'm Brandon. I'm appearing to be a lot more suave and cool than I typically am. But that's because I'm in a beanbag room with three grown men that I just met 2 weeks ago.
Technically two other grown men, not three grown men.
There's two other grown men in this room, and I am going to attempt to be manly enough to compete with them.
You are very manly. You don't have to compete with us.
If you look over here, this is Drew. He's cool. Look at him. Look at his hair. God, total rock star.
It's blonde, yeah.
Dang.
Dude, I wish I had blonde hair.
Yeah.
I just have black hair.
Well, Drew's white. And then Jeremiah.
Yes. I'm Indian and brown.
He's Indian, but he has a white name.
Yeah.
That seems kind of racist. I shouldn't have said that.
Well, yeah. No. It was fine. It was fine.
Is Jeremiah a white name?
No, it's not. Oh,
it's from
the
Bible.
Aramaic.
Yeah, it's in the Bible.
Yeah, it's from the Bible. Because the state that my parents are from in India, it's a Christianized state. So it's very common for Indians from Kerala to have a name from the Bible. So like,
interesting.
Paul.
Like Paul or Chris Chris Matthew.
Yeah.
His last name is Matthew. Zachary, his last name is Thomas.
What are you guys all from the same state?
Yeah, we're all from the same state in India, like our parents.
Wow.
Bruh. Well, we're here. That was cool. I did not know that.
Yeah.
We're here in a beanbag room because it's too cold to be on the balcony. If you remember from last week, I sat there alone in the snow and attempted to put together a video podcast. Drew watched it.
Yeah.
He said it was okay.
The whole thing.
The whole thing, allegedly.
Yeah.
Are you sure you didn't watch it at like 3 times speed, Drew?
1.2.
He's like, I can't stand to watch this dude talk for 37 and a half minutes.
That long.
But I figured, I was like, hey, while I'm in DC, it's going to be really boring if it's just me. And so, I don't know. I think it's very fitting to have like 2 people that I'm probably a lot more comfortable with than most other people, because you guys are stand-up dudes. And I'm not just saying that because the camera's on. I'm just kidding.
Brandon was not telling me how much he hated me before this podcast.
Yeah, no, we're all in the same boat. We're all 3 people from Texas that are attempting to find some kind of new experience here in Washington, D.C., and I just figured it would be cool to talk about, I don't know, what we've been going through and where we come from, and just kind of, I don't know, have fellowship together.
Yeah.
I will say this intro is not nearly as funny as the last one.
Yeah. It's okay. That's
But
what
we
happens
tried.
with failure.
It was okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of impossible to redo perfection. So.
Yeah. Well, I completely forgot. Y'all heard the intro music, but we actually have to sing a song before the podcast starts, and it sounds like this. So you guys will get into it.
Okay.
BLT podcast.
Okay, are you like
no?
You're what? Were you trying to get us?
It didn't work.
Yeah, because we're not idiots. I'm just kidding. I just was too confused to know what to do. That's all it was.
Well, I didn't even know what like tune to sing it to, and so it just kind of did something. So, but anyway, let's do some introductions. Man, we've gotten really good at this whole tell us who you are, where you're from, where you go to school, that kind of stuff. So
asking the forbidden question, what's your major?
What's your major?
What's your institution?
I guess you have an option whenever it's your turn.
Okay.
We'll start with Jeremiah this time. You can either say your name, where you're from, your major, that kind of cool stuff, or you can tell us whatever elevator pitch that does not involve those things are, just knowing that we will eventually find out. All that complicatedness to say that you have carte blanche to do whatever you want.
Okay. Honestly, I don't have the elevator pitch ready, so I'm just gonna do whatever I've been, saying this whole time that I've been having to introduce myself here in DC. My name is Jeremiah Joseph. I'm a junior at the University of Texas at Arlington, studying clinical and applied physiology and philosophy and ethics, with minors in biology, biochemistry, medical humanities, and political science.
Wait, did you take a breath during that or no?
I don't know. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I hate listing out all my minors.
So wait, break it down. Can you just say it slower one more time?
Oh, God damn.
Just the like the really long part. So
which one, the minors or
the minors? I think the majors were okay.
Yeah, so biology, biochemistry, medical humanities, political science.
Well, the announcer at graduation is going to fall asleep reading your credentials.
Yeah. I low-key, I actually hate the fact that it's so funny because people are like, dude, that's crazy that you have 4 minors. I honestly think it makes me sound idiotic.
No, well, it makes it sound like
very
you hate yourself.
Yeah. And the only reason I have it is because my degree in my bachelor's of science is in clinical and applied physiology, and then the biology classes and the biochemistry classes complement the clinical research aspect.
So did you have to take extra classes to classify them, or did you have enough classes already to just say that you have 3 different minors plus political science for fun?
So the way that it ended up working out was I came to college with a lot of college credit already. And I was going to graduate. If I just decided to just, do a normal degree and not double major or anything like that, I would have graduated at the end of my sophomore year.
Dang.
So I didn't want to do that because I was in the middle of my first semester, and I kind of realized how much more opportunity I would have if I took the full 4 years, because I'm technically I'm a pre-med student, so
yeah,
there's no really any rush for me to just finish in 2 years and then just leave. So I decided to do my second degree in philosophy and ethics, and with the biology and the biochemistry classes, they sort of lined up with, they pretty much lined up with just me needing, my clinical degree. It's all what is it? They're all clinical research classes, but they don't line up with typical biology credits for medical school. So I just had to take a bunch of extra biology classes for my medical school prereqs. And for medical school, you need to take up to biochemistry 1. And at UTA, if you take biochemistry 2, you have a biochemistry minor, because you take 3 years of biochemistry of chemistry classes. So general chemistry 1 and 2 with the labs, organic chemistry 1 and 2 with the labs, and then biochemistry 1 and 2 with the labs, or no labs. And then the medical humanities, my philosophy degree has a focus in biomedical ethics, so medical humanities aligns with that. And then political science is from Archer. So,
whoa.
Sounds like you know a lot about theater education.
I do.
I was thinking more underwater basket weaving, but
yeah, I do. I actually have taken a class in underwater basket weaving.
I will kill you. Okay, so that's your professional, that's your educational life. But tell us about, I don't know, some short, fast facts about you, your interests.
So I used to wrestle in high school. I feel like that's the thing I tell everyone, just because
he wrestled me on this beanbag. It was amazing.
I did. Matt returned him.
It ended in a hug.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
It was beautiful.
I was low-key trying to riz up Brandon, but that
it
was
worked. It worked.
Yeah, I used to wrestle in high school. I was okay. I wrestled varsity for 3 years, and I was wrestling captain my senior year. I no longer wrestle how I used to, but now I kind of just weightlift. And other than that, I really love anime.
Oh, what's your favorite anime?
One Piece. The longest.
I prefer the 2-piece combo from Popeyes, but
wow. Do never disrespect One Piece like that.
Dark meat only.
I prefer one more.
One more what?
No, one more.
What war is that? The war on drugs?
War over peace.
Oh.
That was a terrible joke.
I still laughed.
Brandon's like laughing his ass off for no reason.
You know, one of the criticisms I got with this podcast was like, you laugh too much. There's too much laughter on your podcast.
Yeah, you're too happy.
And that was my family that said that.
Wow. I assumed. I don't know who else would.
Yeah, they're like, we can't even understand. That's all you do is laugh the whole time. None of my family sounds like that. Cool.
Yeah, well, like, are they fans of Friends? Because in Friends,
No.
it's like half laughter.
That's like that's hot take. I don't like Friends for that. I can't.
Yeah, it's all laughter.
What with the soundtrack?
Yeah.
That would be kind of funny if like
we had a
if we had a soundtrack. If we had a laugh
track. I could put it on right now.
Honestly,
but it's just like you shift. It's just you shift in your beanbag chair and someone laugh.
There is a Be Real notification, and I feel like taking a Be Real during a podcast.
Oh, yeah, I got you, man.
Should be frowned upon. So when it loads up, I'm gonna take my Be Real.
But
that sounds good.
But you like anime and long walks on the beach.
I do actually like long walks on the beach. I'm a big fan of that.
I got a real question. If you could be any kitchen utensil, what would you be?
If I could be any kitchen utensil.
Ooh. I won't answer this.
Like, are we talking about like something I'm using to eat or something I'm using to cook?
Eat or cook?
I would probably be one of those things they use to ice cakes.
Oh, the pipette thing?
Or no. Like the stick. You know what I'm talking about? Like it's like the flat part.
The flat part? You're gonna claim a kitchen utensil you don't even know the name of.
Okay, fine. I'd probably be like
the rubber spatula.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not like a rubber spatula, but I guess I could say that I'm a rubber spatula.
Is it like a little skinny metal spatula?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I think
kind of.
It looks like a sword.
Why would you be that?
I don't know. I feel like I just mess with it. Like I like the ice. I like the way it just like makes the icing look smooth.
Okay.
Like that's. I mean, like if what am I gonna be like? I would be a knife. That would make me so edgy.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Actually,
that would have
a lot more entertaining than I thought.
Yeah, honestly, I would have thought you would be a spoon because you're really well-rounded.
Or are you just calling me fat?
What? If I wanted to call you fat, I would.
So
you just call me fat.
The fat shamer over here. To remind you, his name is Drew. So
yeah,
Drew, what's your? I guess you could do the same thing. You could tell us like what your resume says about you, and what you've been telling 47 other people.
Right.
The last 3 weeks, and then you can tell us like your deepest darkest secret or whatever.
Oh wow, okay.
Or.
Yeah. Well, my name is Drew. I'm a senior at UTA in Arlington.
I didn't know you guys went to the same school.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we've never. I mean, we had every class together for like the last 2 years.
I thought you went to. For some reason, I thought you went to UT Austin.
No.
Today, I was thinking about it. I was like, oh.
No, I'm not rich enough for that.
Yeah.
Journalism major. And political science major. With a digital media certificate, whatever that.
Where'd you get the certificate from?
It's just
Xerox
random
machine
communication. Yeah, it's whatever. I took one class on how to make logos, and
really,
and then another class about how to run social media, and that got me a certificate.
I thought you were on my social media. Drew makes pretty good videos.
You do,
bro.
Y'all.
Yeah, I did not learn any of that from the class.
With his permission, I'm gonna leave his social media in the in the description.
Granted, yeah,
because I enter my
rack
whoever.
up those followers.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm a lot more secretive about mine, but
my social media isn't like very interesting. It's just pictures of
you though, right?
Of yeah,
that's enough.
There we go. So Drew, tell us more about who are you in that molten center of yours?
In that molten center, well, I do really like writing. That's why I'm a journalist.
Nerd.
I like
For real.
I don't know. I say it in all my cover letters. But I'm a journalist because I like people and I like writing. I like the heart behind storytelling and the art behind connecting with people.
What else would someone say is their reason for being a journalist?
Well, it's not to make money, that's for sure. I mean,
hey, they say the same thing about music teachers.
Yes. It also sounds pretty cool. It's like, oh, I'm a journalist. I'm like,
Have you always wanted to be a journalist? Is that
No. I wanted to be a history professor in high school, and then after a few things happened where my plans just like fell through, I was in England living there, and I was reading George Orwell. I happened to be like near Wigan, which is where one of the places he went. So I started reading him, and
I love Wigan.
It's not a great place. No offense to the Wiganers out there, but like, no offense to the people who live in Wigan, but in the 1930s, it was a coal mining town.
Oh,
and not a great place.
depressing.
Anyways, so what he would do, I mean, I just started reading a ton of Orwell, and he was a journalist, and he kind of opened my eyes to the idea of like, you know, if I would just want to experience all that life has to offer, then I should just start living all these different experiences and writing about them.
Dude.
And so I kind of found a love for writing, and now I'm interning for Al Jazeera English's documentary series Fault Lines for a season.
Shameless plug.
Yeah.
But a good plug.
Pretty hardcore.
It is, dude.
Very, very happy to have that internship.
God.
Yep. Other than that,
You're cracked. I'll say that. You're cracked.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see once I start.
Yeah.
I might get fired the first week, but
Oh, God.
yeah,
Just like
other
Subway.
than that, I mean, I like photography. I'm an artistic guy, just because I find like that's what helps me like be present in the world and feel present. And I really have a soft spot for like my family. I have 5 other siblings who I love very much, and yeah, that's kind of the main core of me.
And you like music.
I do like music
You
as
like
well.
music?
Yeah.
Y'all aren't gonna understand this because I don't know this person, but like the biggest fan of the podcast is one of my closest friends named Ivan. He's been on the podcast a couple times, and I'm only saying this because I know he's listening. Ivan Drew is like a alt carbon copy of you. So let me tell you about Ivan. Okay, Ivan's a stand-up dude from Presidio, Texas, right? Border town. He's one of the best musicians I know. He's a band director now. But he's like getting into videography and cinematography and like that kind of stuff. He is a musician. He's just like one of those like all around kind of like Renaissance men.
Wow.
And he's also just like got a really chill vibe that is like an alt, but very similar version of Drew. So
very cool.
High praise for both Ivan and Drew for
Very
that.
nice.
That fact.
Good job, Ivan. I vibe with you.
He's like, who the hell is Ivan?
No, I vibe with Ivan. I vibe with Ivan.
Nice.
So yeah, Jeremiah and I both started our internships this week. Monday.
Yep.
Yeah. So I don't know. I figured we could just share a little bit about since you haven't started your internship yet. We'll get through it fast.
Well, we'll get there.
Right.
Yeah.
We can just talk about like our first week of working, and then I don't know. Like we can talk to everybody about like our first impressions of Washington and the cohort.
While you're talking, I could open drinks if you.
Oh yeah,
want.
if you'd like to.
If you guys want.
Yeah.
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 Might
I
as well.
got chocolate and coffee.
Oh, I'll do coffee.
I'll do chocolate.
Okay.
He's got
Go on.
non-alcoholic beverages.
Yeah.
Not a sponsor. I'm just kidding. So anyway, if you feel comfortable, you're welcome to say where you're working. If not,
Yeah.
you can keep it an enigma.
No, I'm not like I don't have to keep it a secret like Zoe. So.
No.
I'm working at the Partnership for Public Service, and so for them, I'm interning for the Public Service Leadership Institute. And with the institute, I'm actually going to be, I'm doing like kind of a mix of a few things. So the partnership, their focus is on establishing like a more effective government, and through having a more effective government, improving the public's trust in government. And the main focus of the Public Service Leadership Institute is to help train federal employees and executives on really how to be better leaders. So they have multiple projects and contracts that are ongoing with different government agencies. And so I'm helping with the execution of some of those, like the delivery of some of those projects, but also I'm on the project management side and the business development side.
Whoa.
So like some of the contracts and stuff that goes on with that.
That sounds so cool.
It's very exciting.
I think I'll
Yeah.
snap to that. Yeah. But overall, you're having fun so far. You like the environment.
Yeah. I like everyone over there. They're very nice. It's really interesting because they have a pretty high turnover rate for employees. Like usually people stay there for about 3 or 5 years on average. So everyone there is pretty young, and they're very well organized because they understand that that's how it's going to be at the nonprofit. Like they don't expect people to stay a long term. And it's actually been helping me understand a little bit more as to how an organization can survive beyond people, just like certain people staying there in the long term.
Continuity, just in general, everything. Mm-hmm. It's huge. And obviously, they're still very high performing.
Yeah.
Despite that, yeah.
It's like a brothel.
What? You need to have the same people at the brothel for it to be high performing.
But like all the customers are just gonna come and go.
Have you been? Never mind.
What? Not the customers are staying long term. It's the employees.
So yeah, you're enjoying your work, which is good. It seems very high level for an intern, which I think is a really great like. I'm sure there's grunt work involved, like all of ours, but at the same time, I don't know.
Yeah,
for me, I'm excited because it sounds like you're going to be able to have something to be proud of.
Yeah. I think it's
contributing to a team that way, and
I agree. Because in the past I've only really done, like in some of my volunteer capacities. Like right now, I'm the director of community health advancement at a church in Irving, Texas. So I do some like community health work. And like I've done like a lot of research with like biomedical research and public health research in the past, and I've done like a lot of I do like a lot of community service oversight projects, but like I've never gotten the chance to work in a role where I get to develop my project management and like business skills directly as much. I get as in the sense of it's not me doing it and then messing up and then learning from my mistakes. It's like I get to have someone directly mentor me and then like push forth in agencies and contracts and stuff like that. So I think it'll be fun, especially because I'm pre-med, so I don't really get to do stuff like this.
Yeah. Usually. Well, I mean, that's the other interesting part about us three in particular. Like there's still a political science aspect of our degrees in the form of minors and stuff. But there's not too many of us that are like like economics, international relations, and government specific, and so.
Yeah, like none of us are trying to go into politics specifically. Yeah. I have an affinity for like political journalism, but I don't really want to go into politics itself. I would rather report on it. So
honestly, I think I might try to not in the sense of like I want to be like a congressman or anything, but I think I want to do some like advocacy for health policy eventually.
Are you thinking about like a master's in public health or something like that?
I think I might do a PhD.
PhD, yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking MD, PhD right now, and then I'm trying to figure out.
I forgot you're pre-med. I don't know why you.
Yeah.
In basket weaving.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I was thinking basket weaving. I was gonna do a dual PhD in basket weaving and in what is it? Like, what is another useless thing?
Dang, all the basket weavers are hating. They just, bro, they're turning off the YouTube video right now.
What the heck?
You're not supposed to lose us viewers.
Sorry, I mean,
you're a piece of shit.
Oh man.
What's another useless PhD? Like a political science? No, I'm just kidding.
Valid.
I actually would probably do a PhD in policy.
Okay.
I'm thinking about either doing a PhD in policy.
In health policy specifically?
Health policy or health economics or bioethics.
AI is not going to be making baskets anytime soon, you know?
True. If you want a job that's safe from the robots,
get a degree a basket weaving degree.
Dang, all the French art majors are crying right now.
We didn't mention any of the French.
Oh, well, I did.
There's always
just projecting that.
It's valid. They're just always crying.
Yeah.
They cry every night.
Honestly, though, biology is also a useless major. I just need to throw that out there. Yeah, top 10 most useless majors.
My mom listens to this, and she's a biology teacher.
I mean, look. I mean,
you study it, but
I study it. I just think it's a useless degree.
Once there was a guy named Ollie.
I'm sorry, Brandon's mom.
Once there was a guy named Allah. And
Go on.
What are you about to say?
Well, there was an old man who was friends with Allah, and he was leaving Allah one day, and he was like, but as he was like saying, like waving goodbye, he like stubbed his toe, and so he was like, "Bye, Allah," and then he stubbed his toe. Gee.
Biology.
No. I got it. I'm just not gonna laugh. Like this is why people are telling you laugh too much. Brandon.
Did you just make that up just now? Or have you told that joke before? That's what I really want to know.
That's a story, dude.
I will give you the benefit of the doubt because
that's how the word came about.
I think I laughed because it reminded me of a terrible dad joke.
Right.
Where it's like, all right, there are 2 olives. Are you paying attention? There are 2 olives on a table. Right? They're hanging out. It's been a long day, shooting the bull. One of the olive trips. He rolls off the table. He falls to the ground. His buddy leans over the edge and is like, "Oh my gosh, are you okay?" And his friend looks up and says, "Olive."
Classic.
Jeremiah is laughing so hard that it can't even get processed right now.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I've never seen an olive talk.
My viewership is already going down the drain. Now
no one is watching this.
Yeah.
After Drew's first story, they just turned it off.
So tell me. I guess I'll pitch this to you, Drew.
Yeah.
As somebody who, are you done?
Sorry.
As somebody who's here from not UT Austin, not doing pre-law, someone doing journalism in Washington D.C. What were your first takes, positive or negative, both about the city itself, your experience, or even just the people?
Yeah, who's your least favorite Archer fellow?
None of them listen to it, so
yeah. I mean, definitely. Definitely Brandon.
I hate that guy.
Yeah, those are the only 2 people I'm legally allowed to call out right now, so. My first impression of the DC though, like, I don't know, it's very like, I've read a lot of articles and books by journalists who are working behind the scenes of politics, and they're political reporters, and it always kind of blew my mind of how like close they would be able to get to politicians and their sources and all that. Because in Texas, it seems like all the politics and policy people are behind like they're all like hidden behind a veil, or like a cloud. Like you don't really understand that they're literally just like people, and the Hill is just run by a bunch of like random petty interns.
True.
And so like seeing just how small DC is, and how like I don't know, it feels like it's a very tight knit culture. At least the certain side on the Hill that I've been exposed to, where it's just you could reach the top pretty quick. Like I went to a Supreme Court hearing like 2 weeks ago, and
did you go to the Chevron one?
Yeah.
Nice.
And I mean, obviously I couldn't talk to like any of the justices, but because I was just a general public, but like they were just there, like just chilling. So I don't know, just kind of like it really has humanized politics and made it feel like, man, it's just
the
a small
access
group.
is so much higher than you would think.
Yeah, it's just a small group of people who run one of the most powerful governments in the world. And so I don't know, it's interesting as a journalist to kind of see that and be like, okay, I could see writing some articles about like these people.
Yeah, I think I even mentioned something about that last week on the podcast, because I talked about like our trip to the Capitol and like talking to staffers, and then kind of putting into perspective that it's like, okay, there are like 435 members of Congress, there's 100 senators, but every member has anywhere between 5 and 15 normally very young people in their office, like doing everything for them. One, because the congressmen and senators are, I don't know, doing whatever they do. But it also makes me like put it in a weird perspective. It's like everyone is really upset about the age of Congress members, which I totally agree with. This is a hot take, but I think there should be term limits in Congress. You should not be.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It is me, guys. But I do think there's a lot of youth that is still being like, I don't know,
Just by the
Like a lot of youth that
young-
are still able to be
like
taken
by
advantage of.
osmosis.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of like. I feel like there's enough like young influence in the like on the hill, and I mean the reason they're all like interns is because you don't really want like an unexperienced person.
Yep.
So by the time that they actually have the amount of experience that makes them kind of qualified to be a congressman or congressperson,
Mhm.
congresswoman, they are old.
Well, that's also an interesting thing that I've discovered. Not to like contradict your point,
Mm-hmm.
but virtually, at least currently, there are very few, if any, like elected leaders in Congress that were former staffers. Which someone asked the question is like, okay, are these people working on the Hill as interns and correspondents and whatever legislative directors simply because that's what they want to do? Or do they at one point aspire to go into politics in Congress and either
be an elected official?
Yeah. Do they encounter a roadblock, or are they so sick of it by the time that they're done with their time? I don't know, because you don't really see the progression. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's also just because Americans don't care about experience for their politicians.
They just need a catchy name like
They just care if you have a nice name.
John McCain.
Dude,
That's
when
the
we went to
catchiest name.
when
Al
we went to
Gore.
church earlier,
Vicente.
we went to an Episcopal church.
Uh-huh.
The
Was Al Gore there?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Flesh,
The guy started talking about how
he kept talking about like hanging chads or something.
He was talking about how we all need to be more like John McCain.
Well, that's actually not a joke. Yeah, that was an
that-
actual
I'm
quote.
being for real. Like
A
this man
quote
just
from the
said that.
pulpit.
Like the
is,
pastor?
we need more
or whatever
people.
they call it.
What
The deacon or
The deacon?
Yeah.
was that guy? The deacon? I thought
I
he was
don't
a
know.
priest still.
I don't know the difference. I'm not Catholic.
Episcopal is
Episcopalian.
Episcopal church is like one of the denominations of Protestant Christianity.
Sure.
Oh, you guys went to an Episcopal church?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was talking about how we should all be more like John McCain
Mhm.
because apparently he's a really upstanding guy.
Yep. Instead of just being like, respond like Jesus. He should be. It was like respond like John.
Respond like John McCain.
Respond like John McCain when he
Yeah.
debated Obama.
Yeah, it was interesting.
It's like average DC sermon.
Yeah. I guess so. Yeah, that's very DC.
Yeah. Well, I guess then I'll ask, like,
I think. I don't know.
what's your impression of the program so far, outside of your internship and DC? Then the different type of people that we've encountered. Not
Okay,
it doesn't have to be
okay,
negative
okay.
or anything.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like
Like the cohort or
yeah. Or
Drew's like, I
staff,
hate them all
anything.
so much more.
he's
than-
really treading carefully. That's
yeah. He's
that's
like, I
all
gotta
I'm
walk
hearing.
on eggshells here.
It's just, I mean, it's very like, and I kind of like it. Just how I was scared it was going to be very like prestigious and pretentious, and like I would not feel like I belong. Just because I think everybody struggles with imposter syndrome going into this. So I'm not going to pretend to be unique in my own, but I definitely had a lot of imposter syndrome of like, man, I'm like, I always feel like I've BS'd my way through school and all that. So going in here, there's just a lot of smart people. There's a lot of like hype around the Archer Center that I was like getting vibes from, of like, this is one of the most prestigious programs in the University of Texas system and all that. But then I don't know, coming in here and just like meeting the different staffers and meeting the rest of the cohort, it's all just very chill and very personal. And so I mean, I don't know, it's very like,
I will say for the most part, like I don't think there's any single person that I wouldn't hang out with to an extent and have a conversation with. I don't know.
Yeah.
What's your take?
I'm kind of in I would say probably similar. Like I have a similar take to Drew, in the sense of like, I guess going into Archer, I was like, I felt like like it's like, you know, I'm aware of how like it's a prestigious program or whatever, and like, but I think a common thing that I noticed, or like I think it was something that I picked up on as I was like trying to do more research on like previous Archer fellows and like what they did in the past and then where they're at now, and how the path for like what you use Archer for can vary in the sense of like how it can influence your future, in the sense of like you can become an Archer fellow, but then you can just do nothing with it, and then you ultimately like it was pretty much the equivalent to a study abroad for you. Like they didn't use it as a good stepping stone. So I came into Archer thinking like, oh, like, you know, I'm gonna meet, like I felt like because the applications had been so competitive this year, I was like, oh, like everyone is going to be like super cutthroat and very very like I need to go and do X, Y, and Z, and like we can't just chill and be like hang out or whatever. But then I got here and everyone, I mean, it was funny. I was like, this is the exact opposite. Like I read everyone's bios before, and I was like, damn, bro, like these people are smart.
Yeah.
And then then it's like then you meet them and you're like, bro, you're just dumb. Like it's like you are. It's like, bro, everyone here is dumber than they actually like seem, which I love.
Yeah.
It's
like an endearing dumb, not oh, you're physically not smart.
No, everyone is smart. Like it's like everyone is definitely smart. Like they're all like, obviously everyone's good at like academics that's here. And
that's a good point though, Jeremiah. Like I could and I honestly came here thinking, you know, it's just going to be a short time. Like I'm going to like I very much had the attitude of I'm just going to go back to Texas and, you know, kind of move on from there. Like I was very indifferent towards my time here, of just like, you know, I could stay in Texas or I could do Archer and go to DC for a few months. Either way, it's just like 4 months, so like it's not going to make a huge impact on my life. But pretty quick, once you get into orientation, you pick up on the culture of just like, no, this could really, like, if you network and everything, and if you want to stay here, then you could really make it a whole platform of like getting to know people and just turning it into, you know, especially if you work on the Hill, which I don't, but if you want to work on the Hill, then the network that you are introduced to just gives you such a good foot in the door for turning it into a DC career. Dude, or you could just go back to Texas.
When John Cornyn showed up with his Archer Center socks,
that was awesome.
Flex, yeah,
I was like, damn, bro, that's crazy.
I will say, the first couple of days were really weird for me. I think when everyone got here, maybe y'all didn't feel this way, but I felt like everyone came in here like really guarded. In a way, like, because we all had the same thing, like, oh, well, either I've got to act like I'm cooler than everybody else, or I'm gonna stick with the people I know, or I don't know, like things were just like,
bro, I knew no one coming.
Yeah, I didn't know anyone.
I obviously didn't know anybody.
It was so funny though, because when I immediately, as soon as I came, because I didn't show up and I didn't see anyone until like that very night, like right before on that Sunday. And I was worried that with my room, because my roommates are Juan, Matt, Anthony, like, and they're all like they were all friends before, like they went to the state capitol in Texas. And they were all they did the mini Archer over there. And then so I come in and I was like damn, I was like, bro, like these people are not gonna like me. And then immediately, like that first night, we talked for like 3 or 4 hours. It was just chilling. And then the next day when we went to the Lincoln Memorial, in the morning, as soon as I walk there, Chris and Zach come up to me and they're like, bro, we've been waiting for you, the other Mulu dude. Because you can tell by if a brown guy's name, you can tell if he's Mulu.
That's funny. That's good. I was looking for your UTA, like, because I knew there was a third person from Arlington. And I was like, I gotta find him pretty quick.
I was also, because I knew about Dylan, because one of my, like, this guy that I'm like friends with from UTA. I don't know if you've met Paul Schreiber.
No,
I love him, but I know you would know. But he was like he was one of my, like, he was like went to the leadership retreat, and I met him
Yeah.
there, and then he's one of Dylan's friends, and he would always talk about Dylan to me.
Right. So I knew Dylan, and he texted me like 2 months ago. He's like, "Hey, Drew, I need to introduce you to the other Archer guy from Arlington." And I'm like, I thought it was just us two. And he was like, "Oh no, he was on the wait list." And then I just kind of ghosted Dylan because I got distracted and I didn't. I forgot to respond to his text So then by the time I got here, I was like, apparently there's a third Arlington guy.
Dude, yeah,
I saw your lanyard, and I was like, at the memorial on the first day of class, and I was, this is a guy. I guess I should talk to him.
Yeah, yeah. I guess.
But then you turned around and like, you had like your greeting smile,
and you fell in love in the first glance.
Yeah, it was like that song that it's like
who's that girl? La la.
I was thinking more like Kenny G or something.
Like what?
I was thinking that.
Dude, yeah, I remember because I was actually like legit trying to see you and Dylan at least once before.
Oh yeah, that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, and I was like, towards the end, I was so busy. I was just like, I was like, bro, there is no point.
Yeah, no, there was just that would not have happened.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was the holidays. I was also working like 60 hours at Chick-fil-A a week, so yeah. I was trying to spend all my time with my family as well.
No, I thought you were gonna say spend all your time with Chick-fil-A, but
I did end up doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I would say I'm very happy with the way things have shaken up. I think I think everyone's very social. There's parties.
It'd be really awkward
like
if you were really like depressed about how everything had turned out.
I've just been pretending this whole time to be like a really happy guy, and I'm actually like
you just opened up
hating myself.
Like, I hate this program.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. Like, I think even more fun this week, being able to go and experience what work life is like. For me, I mean, it's vastly different than some other people, at least location-wise, but like working at the Kennedy Center and vice versa. I don't know, meeting that whole network of people has been really fun. Everyone, overall, I think I'll just say is I haven't encountered a mean person yet, or somebody that is like completely selfish to the point where it's not worth like talking to them more or getting to know them, you know?
Yeah.
Which is quite refreshing.
I feel like everyone in DC is pretty nice, actually, because of the way the culture is here.
Yeah,
I do like the city a lot,
even though the weather's kind of sucked.
Yeah,
dude, I like it when it rains here. I
like
liked the weather earlier today.
I like what.
Yeah.
Y'all didn't go out last night, did you?
No.
No, when it was pouring. No, I just stay in.
We were running from DuPont Circle to Farragut North in the rain, with very sick, intoxicated people, trying to get them to the last train before it left.
Yeah.
It was like pouring down rain. It was like a movie.
Every time they go out clubbing, so it's a group of 48 people, and big groups go out clubbing on weekends sometimes.
Yeah, it's the worst possible idea.
And every time Brandon goes out.
Yes, and like they get so like, and we have a whole group chat with the 48 of us on GroupMe, and every time like I've gone out a few times, but most of the time I choose to stay in, because I watch the GroupMe, just like I wake up at 9 a.m. the next day, and I look at the messages from the night before, and everybody's just like panicking, like it's like
dude,
it's like World War III. Like
last night when you guys came back, like when you remember like how I went to sleep, right?
Yeah,
I took like a melatonin, and I wake up at 4 a.m. because Zach and Emily break into my room, and Zach's staring at my face. Like he's just directly above me. And he's like, bro, I just wanted to let you know how much I love you. And then that boy had just had like another cup of wine. God.
And like at one point you're like, Brandon, you texted to the group chat. You're like, meow if you're... No, is everybody okay? Meow if you're not okay. And somebody was like, meow, third floor. It's like, God, what a...
Bro, Brandon was like, please like this message if you got back. Otherwise, I'm going to burn this building down.
It is... I can only explain it by... And somebody already made this meme before. That Office episode where Dwight decides to do a fire drill.
Yeah.
Where he like lights a small fire, and then they're like trying to ram the printer out the window, and Angela's throwing her cat up into the
It's
rafters.
like, you think we'd learn, at one point, like, it's not that hard just to, like, split into smaller groups and go to different clubs.
Dude, it is
and,
definitely
like,
superior to just make plans with smaller groups.
Right.
Not everyone needs to go together to places.
But also, some people are not trustworthy to
hey, man,
make it back alive.
Bro.
If you die, you die.
Honestly,
like,
at this point, everyone here is like 21. Like, some people are 26, bro. Like,
one person.
okay,
is
yeah, there's one
26.
person who's 26.
some people are 24.
They're very responsible.
Zach and Juan are 24.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
It's not that old.
Drew's like, I'm
Drew's like-
25.
Yeah, I'm like 30.
Aren't you like, you're almost 23, right, Drew?
Yeah.
I'm almost 23.
Feels so old, bro.
Bro, I'm 20.
Compared to like these 20-year-olds, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just lost all of our basket weavers, our fringe people, and our anybody over the age of 25.
Well, what I'm saying is, like, after a certain point, it's like, you gotta let these people be idiots on their own.
Yeah. I will say, though, for the memories and, like, joking about them afterwards, it's really fun. It's very stressful in the moment when
Bro,
you're, like, screaming across the street in the pouring rain while someone's throwing up that we're going to miss the train, or you're in a club, like, trying to peel creepy dudes off of these girls that are just trying to get free drinks.
I'm just a boy.
Dude, I'm standing there with my arms outstretched like a bouncer, like this, behind everyone's shoulders.
Who went out last night? Which one of the twins? Fatima or Aisha?
They both did.
Well, I think Fatima was saying at Bagels earlier today. She was like, guys, a guy approached me at the club yesterday, and I started freaking out. And I was like, bro.
She came up to me. She's like, Brandon, I've been looking for you. She's like, a guy just came up to me.
I was like, bro, what did you expect? It's going to happen at some point.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think that's the other. Someone told me yesterday that it was like savior complex or something like that. Which, dang, that's a deep conversation for another day, I guess. But anyway, it's like there's so many just like terrible people out there, and there was last weekend when we went out, there was this guy dancing with one of the people from our cohort. I'm not gonna name drop. But I was like, all right, we're leaving. Like, everyone's leaving. The trains are gonna close. We're all going together. And they're like, no, I'll stay. And I was like, no, we're gonna go. We're leaving together. Like, it's okay. And the guy comes up to me. He's like, hey, bro, I go to Georgetown. You can trust me.
Wow, that means you definitely cannot trust me.
I looked at him and I said, I don't know who the hell you are, and I don't care. She's with our group. We're leaving. If you want to talk to her, you can ask her for her number and talk to her tomorrow. He just like looked at me and he's like, okay. I was like,
wait, but didn't you have to stay back anyway?
Well, yeah, I did stay back that night.
Yeah,
and
well, watch after that person.
Well, two people.
Yeah.
Well, another person stayed to watch after that other person.
Yeah,
It gets it gets really existential every
like
time.
semantics and
yeah.
still ain't got no hose,
It's
but
quite a. No.
Hey, it's all right.
Maybe you got to be the approacher, man.
oh, I don't know how to do that. No.
Low key.
I have no desire to.
Yeah, maybe not dating DC.
Yeah, that's valid. Yeah,
Well, not like at a club.
I was gonna say, why don't you just get a dating app?
that's
tea.
That's
Well,
like an
okay,
average.
I mean, that's
like an
a good
average thing to do.
conversation. What is like your thoughts on dating apps?
My thoughts on dates?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. I think it depends on the audience. I think there are certain people that are on there and find love and success. Like I was at a comedy club like last week here in DC, and two of the headliners, or technically they're openers, but I call them headliners, met their significant other on a dating app. Was in love with them, like married them and everything. But I think there's also enough people that don't take it seriously enough.
Yeah,
kind of like tarnish
hookup culture.
Yeah. So you personally, why would you be opposed to getting a dating app?
I don't know. I think it's just out of my comfort zone in a sense. Like, I mean, I've tried them before, but I've just never like. It's not my vibe. I think even if I like met somebody, dang, why is this turning into like a relationship podcast with just me at the center? Oh no. But like, even if I did, like, oh hi, like, oh wow, you're cool. I don't know if I could just go meet somebody.
Bro, I downloaded Tinder once.
Mm-hmm.
for like 15 minutes, and I just swiped left the entire time.
Really?
Like I could not like I like it was like literally like the whole time I just could not like.
Everyone's too ugly for you, or what?
Well, it's just like I don't know. Like
what
it's
are
like
you
you
trying
look
to
at the
say,
way
Jeremiah?
you look at the way that people post pictures, and then you're just like,
I agree.
is this the kind of
Yeah.
person that I would want to be in a relationship
Oh.
with?
That's valid.
And ultimately, like I've never. Well, it's also always been like I've just dated people that like I have to start off being friends with someone first.
That's
Yeah.
actually what I was
Yeah.
going to get into. Like, and my track record isn't great because like my last, well, every girl I've dated, which is not many, have been friends first. But I feel like that's important. Is
Yeah.
to like be able to enjoy somebody, and like get to know them over a period of time, and then let things like
Yeah, I
develop
feel like
if they're meant to develop.
If you
know?
start off
Right.
with just like not having a solid foundation, well, I don't know. Like I feel like it has dating like people that are friends first has its like ups and downs because I've had it like backfire on me significantly before.
especially if you have like any kind of well, like the emotional buy-in is so much more like if you've been friends with them for a couple years.
Yeah, because then you actually like care about them emotionally.
Yeah, and then when things go south, then I feel like it could be worse.
Right.
Yeah, dude, it can get
It's
very
definitely
bad.
worse.
Very, very bad.
Yeah, I have very negative feelings because of a situation like that. Yeah.
Mm.
What are your thoughts, Drew? This is your
Yeah.
brain baby here.
No, yeah. I mean, I personally have never had a dating app, just because, like, I don't know.
Because you just get
In my-
get hose easy, right? Right
No,
off the rip.
no. It's like, I don't know. I would definitely prefer, just in my mind, I'd prefer things to happen organically.
Yeah.
And I've never been like feeling lonely enough to like be like, man, I
What are you
just
trying to say?
Wow. Wow.
I don't know. I've just always had somebody, like, when I've been wanting a relationship, I've always had somebody who I would want that relationship to be with.
So do you think the desire to have the relationship comes from like you having the initial feelings for that person, or it's like you want to get into a relationship and that person's just there?
Dang, that's a good question.
Yeah, that is a good question. I don't know. I've never thought about that.
Well, I guess here's the next question. Well, and you can answer it too. Is like, do you guys like find enough confidence that whenever you, hey guys, this is Matt.
What
It's
up?
Matt. We're
recording a podcast, Matt. I don't even think the camera can. Oh, they can see you a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, y'all.
Matt enters the door.
Yeah.
You sent me a text, Matt?
Nah.
You're welcome to sit in here if you want.
Okay.
Yeah, you could watch us.
Well, now you're.
now you're really
this
making
beanbag.
Yeah, what? It took me like 10 minutes to get this comfortable.
Yeah. We've got about 20 more minutes. 15
What
minutes.
kind of apple is that? A pink lady?
Yeah, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, pink lady is the best.
But what I was gonna say is like, do you guys find that you have the
Oh,
confidence
dude,
to, like,
Matt's a dating app warrior, bro.
We were talking about dating.
We're talking about dating right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
it just happened. We didn't even plan it.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Well, I'm a good example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think
he
anyone can
was
hear
just
you.
setting up his dating profile in DC like
Really?
last 2 nights ago.
Last night. So.
What are your thoughts after 24 hours?
My thoughts. I mean, it's going good so far. Still new to it. I've never been a big like participator in like online dating. Never really tried it, but I'm trying it so far. I say it's alright.
Yeah.
It's all right.
What did you do? You swiped for these last like 24 hours? Have you gotten any matches or?
I mean, yeah, I got like a few matches. I got maybe like 5 already.
Damn,
5?
Yeah.
Holy shit! Okay.
5 so far. So let's see.
This is such a funny
Let's
conversation to be having.
Yeah.
Like,
While he's eating a freaking apple right now.
Yeah, a pink lady.
yeah. But I was just gonna say, I guess to like
Yeah.
your question, when you can answer to whatever, is like, do you guys find the confidence is like, oh, I'm okay being in a relationship. I like that person. Like just going up to them, or not like literally, like obviously
Yeah.
there's a method to it, but like initiating that. Because you were the one that said like, well, I just like it to happen organically. And
Right.
if there's somebody around and I want to be in a
Wait,
relationship, I just do it.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean by
Yeah.
this? Are you talking about like you see someone like
Yeah,
you've
no,
never
I'm-
met before, and then you just walk up to
No,
them?
no. Like you guys are both talking about like organically, meaning that you've probably established some kind of
Right.
Yeah.
rapport with them,
Yeah.
being a friend or an acquaintance.
Yeah.
Do you guys just like slide in and be like, hey, do you want to go on a date? Or
It for me in the past, it's always been that I've gotten asked out.
Wow.
Because you're good looking.
But-
Yeah, what a flex. Yeah.
But okay, so like with my girlfriend right now, she's actually the only girl that I've really like actively pursued. So
The rest are just like swatting off like flies. Like,
well, okay,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Actually had to run away from them. Yeah.
I don't know what like I don't know about the psychology behind it or anything like that. But she is the one that I have been with the most like long term. I think probably because I've been the most invested in it.
gotcha.
I think that's been the biggest difference versus like for other relationships or situationships where it's been like they approached me first. Like it would be like I was just okay with it. But then if it was more like I was like investing more into it, then I feel like I would care more. Kind of. I don't know though. Like I've been like I definitely cared about those other people also.
That's good. It's good to care.
But
about
it's a
people.
different vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely very different than like because
Pursuing
with
somebody.
asking out my girlfriend, I asked her out in high school. When I asked her out in high school, I was like super nervous.
Go for it, Matt, if you want it.
But you know, I don't know if maybe I would have the same kind of nervousness now just because I'm older now, or maybe I would. I don't know.
Yeah, I want to add on to that. I was in a 6-year relationship, dated in high school, ended a while back. So now I feel like I haven't dated. Not that I've dated people, but I feel like it's such a different like field now. You have to get used to it. You know, you have to try out little things, and I feel like being in a relationship for so long throws you out of the game. So I feel like it's really hard to adapt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
the
get
thing
that.
that I don't get. Like I don't do dating.
What?
Like,
Why?
Not like I don't do dating. Like I don't date
That's
people.
like Molly
But-
the other day was like she was
Oh
like
my
I don't
God.
date guys.
No. But like actually, I'm gonna use them as an example. Like some of these people are just so like comfortable being like, oh, there's somebody like let's just go. Let me go on dates with people all the time. And I don't know. Like that's just weird to me.
I mean, you're also a guy, so they'd expect you to pay.
That's
how you go
valid, yeah.
broke.
You save a lot of money by
Guys, oh no, I'm not gonna do this.
Yeah.
I put myself in credit card debt because of my ex-girlfriend.
Dang.
What? Are you?
Yeah.
Did you pay it off yet?
No, because I have no income. I'm working
Oh.
on it.
Yeah. Being in a long distance relationship, which I was in for a year, saves you a lot of money.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of weird because
Very
for
cost
me,
efficient.
it's always been that they've always bought me stuff and driven me everywhere because I don't have a car.
Sick invite.
Dang, dude.
I feel like I'm like a passenger princess most of the time.
I don't know if
It's only until recently I started making money that like because my girlfriend right now, like in high school, she would pay for everything and then drive me everywhere, but that was more out of like necessity because I didn't have a car or like a job. But now it's like we try to split things evenly, and like I usually will like we usually just buy each other stuff if we want to.
Yeah. This is actually uncharted territory, in a sense. Me and my buddies have like considered talking. It's like relationship adjacent, but we've been too scared, in a sense, because I don't know, whatever personal reasons. So, just say, you guys have just untapped a different parallelogram. I just said the first word that came to my head.
Tapped into a different.
Yeah, this is photosynthesis.
What? Average music education major trying to use an analogy of photosynthesis.
This is so barrel right now.
Have you guys seen that? It's like sometimes I use big words to make myself sound more photosynthesis. Yeah. We've got like 10 or 15 minutes before DuPont is having our meeting, which Matt is a part of. So I don't know, this is a good conversation, and if you guys are wanting to do another one of these down the road, like by all means,
Yeah.
we can continue
I'm
the
an open
conversation.
book.
Sure.
But let's move to the only thing that like stays the same with this podcast, and it's like what is your media recommendation of the week? It can be a movie, TV show, video game, book, whatever, music, and then share either a hot take that you have, like an unpopular opinion, or some kind of like life advice or life lesson thing for the 5 people that are still on the airwaves right now.
Thank you, 5 people.
Okay.
So I started with you earlier. I'm gonna start with Drew, and then if you want to get on this, Matt,
Yeah.
we'll get to you.
Matt's trying to hop on this.
Yeah, Matt's like,
With this-
I can't believe you didn't invite me earlier.
Yeah.
It's not live.
It's not live. This is the second time we've tried recording it. It's a get a recording,
Yeah, we just go.
but we're just trying.
Yeah.
Look at all the cables everywhere.
Yeah.
I flew all this from Austin. Nice. And there's more in there. There's a whole suitcase in the bathroom right now.
Wow.
With all my... Anyway. So Drew, tell us what's your media recommendation of the week or year, whatever. This is your first time, so
Okay.
what do you want people to watch or listen to?
Goodness. One of my favorite authors, song authors for years has been a small guy named Slaughter Beach Dog. I listened to his Midwestern emo band a lot in high school, Modern Baseball. And then eventually they split and he created a solo project. And it's called Slaughter Beach Dog. It's a very edgy name, but it's a very, very chill band. Listen to Acolyte, which is their most listened to song.
I feel like Nathan would know this band. My
Yeah.
friend Nate who watches this.
Very chill guy. I feel like I resonate a lot with him.
Does he look like you?
No.
Oh.
He's I wish he's a very handsome man. But
Yeah, so are you.
well, thanks, man.
My socks are on. I can
Yeah.
say it. I can say it in a compliment.
yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah. Also, you should read.
Who is it?
You should read.
Is it Asha?
No way.
Asha's my favorite person in the cohort.
Mine too.
Yeah, it's like, hey.
Matt's like, what the hell?
Yeah. Read Homage to Catalonia. That's the book by George Orwell that got me to be a journalist.
To be a journalist.
Yeah.
Homage.
Homage to Catalonia.
Catalonia.
It's about his time in the Spanish Civil War.
Dude, you know that when you guys were talking about your political theory class earlier, it made me buy those 2 political theory books. I didn't even show you that when we got it
No
from
way.
the bookstore. Yeah.
No, what books?
I'll show it to you when we
Okay,
got
nice,
it. It's
yeah.
like a
For context, we were walking and we were talking about political theory class, and then we went to a bookstore.
Yeah. I've never taken a
Nerd.
political
Couldn't
theory
pick that
class
up.
before.
Nerds.
I'm
It's
sorry.
Typical afternoon in the Orchard Fellowship.
So then,
I'm a jock, I swear.
what's your hot take or life
Oh,
advice
a
or
hot
life
take?
lesson? It can be anything. It can be as controversial as you want it to be. If you're gonna go the hot take route.
Yeah, hot take. I'll just do. I'll let Jeremiah do his media recommendation. I got to think about that.
Oh my.
Yeah, I got to think
for
about my hot
my
take.
so for my media recommendation, I would do another book also.
Nerd. I don't even know how to read.
So we were actually talking about this at the bookstore earlier. It's like a book that I recommend to all of my friends that are interested in medicine. It's this book called When Breath Becomes Air. It's like the most basic book that any pre-med kid reads.
That sounds like a
Like a John Green
Zelda
book.
game. Oh.
Like
Sorry.
a Zelda game.
Like Breath of the
Yeah,
Wild.
yeah.
Anyway.
Breath of the Wild is funny. No, it's essentially the book about this one guy that he spends his whole life like essentially stacking achievements like he does. His undergrad at Harvard, doing a BS and in biology, BA in English, does his master's in literature, goes to Harvard for medical school, then does Harvard again, I think, for his residency for neurosurgery. And the whole time he's like looking for like his ultimate purpose in life. And he thinks that medicine is what's going to lead him to that. But before he can even finish his residency, he gets diagnosed with cancer. And it's terminal cancer, so he knows he's going to die, because he's like, he's one of the top experts in his field.
Oh.
So in those last 2 years of his life, he's writing this memoir about like kind of grappling with that idea. And I really liked the book. It was it's really interesting because he initially had this long-term plan for his life where he's going to be a surgeon until he was like 50, 60, something like that, and then retire and then be an author for the last half. But then it's him having to come to terms with not being able to live the life that he thought he would live. And
Holy cow.
ultimately like being okay with his own death and it was a very, very emotional read for me. Like when I was reading it, for like probably the last like fourth of the book, maybe half, I had to like space out my reading. Like I couldn't handle more than like a chapter or two a day, because it was so like, it would make me cry so much reading it. It was such a beautiful
What's it called?
book.
When life becomes breath?
When breath becomes air.
When breath becomes air.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, so usually anyone that's interested in the idea of life and death and medicine, I always recommend reading that book.
Yeah, that's good.
Snaps for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fire. Do you have your hot take or
My hot take?
word of advice, word of wisdom?
Word of advice or word of wisdom? I think probably a good word of wisdom. This is not my original word of wisdom, though. I got this from a guy named Alex Ramosi. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of him. This is from like one of the things I watched of his recently. So like, how many of you guys have like thought about the Queen of England?
I have thought about her.
No, like,
All
but
the time.
recently. In the last week, have you thought about the Queen of
No,
England?
I haven't.
Personally,
I have.
no.
No,
You have?
I have.
Why?
I just think about her impact on, how she led her.
No, like to this week, you actually thought about the Queen of England.
This, like the last 7 days?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
It's really random. I don't know why.
Did you think about her today?
Today?
Before I mentioned her.
No, not today. But for sure the last like 5 days.
Okay. Well, for most... Well,
Matt says he's thought about the Queen the last 5 days. I don't know if the mic picked any of that up, but
well, I was going to say... so one of the things that like I feel like most people are concerned about is like what people are going to think about them with anything they do in their life. And for the Queen, she was like one of the richest people, alive. She had one of the greatest influences considering all the countries that she destroyed and ruled. And like everything that she did in her life, right, it all like amounted to her eventually dying. But then
As every life does.
yeah, like as every life does. But then she dies. Everyone has like this, everyone's like, oh my God, the Queen's dead. And they're either like super sad about it or they're really happy, depending on.
For some reason.
Yeah,
There was-
it's not like they had.
There was no reason to celebrate.
There was no reason to celebrate the Queen's death.
Yeah.
But either way, I thought it was an interesting point to make about how for most of these people, they did not even like, it's like most people now, like they were thinking about the Queen dying when she died. Like I remember when the Queen died, I posted a bunch of memes about it.
I remember exactly when she died. I was like setting up a stage for a symphony concert, and we were all like, "Oh my God, the Queen died!"
I also
And then we
remember
just-
where I was. Yeah.
Yeah, that was so weird.
Yeah, it's our.
Not like I was sad.
I
but
posted.
I was like,
I posted like a bunch of memes. Like I put like one with the Queen and then with X next to each other. And it was like R.I.P. And
was
then I
just a
played
very-
some Juice
yeah.
WRLD.
It was just a lot of images of the Megamind.
Yeah.
When it's like there is no Queen of England. Yeah.
Yeah, that was that. But yeah, so it's like everyone celebrated her, like, or I guess it's either you mourned her death or you celebrated whatever, right? Everyone remembered her death for a little bit, but now it's like you only have the occasional Matt thinking about her, right? So if everyone in the world is aware, like this is the lady who probably had like one of the biggest influences on the world imaginable, and now it's like you don't think about her.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So imagine what it's like if you just live your life the way that you want.
instead of thinking
Instead
about
of
what your
think-
legacy's going to be.
Yeah, well, not just that, but just worrying about what other people are going to perceive of you for pursuing a thing that you want to do. So you should just do whatever the hell you want to do, and like try to just achieve whatever goal you want to achieve.
Whoa,
Wow. Yeah.
that's a good one. Do you want, let's pass it to Matt.
Yeah, Matt.
We'll come back to you, and then I'll close us out with mine.
So what is it again? My media?
So media recommendation, and then either a hot take or word of wisdom.
I would say my media would be stop motions. I feel like stop motions have recently gone down in the last few years. I feel like a lot of people don't focus too much on stop motions anymore, but I feel like we grew up on, for example, I grew up a lot on
What specific stop motion?
stop motion. I would say the basic one everyone knows, everyone should watch, is Coraline. That's an amazing
I
stop
thought you could
motion.
say Chicken Run.
Chicken
Dude,
Run.
Chicken
too.
Run. Chicken Run was
Yeah.
terrifying, bro.
Chicken Run is really scary, but it's good. My favorite, I'll say the top favorite stop motion would be Fantastic Fox.
Oh
Have y'all
I have
seen
not
it?
watched
Fantastic Mr.
I've
Fox,
always
right?
seen
Yeah,
the reels
Fantastic
for
Mr.
it.
Fox. You should
Mhm.
watch it. I think that's one of the best stop motions so far to this date. There's also the Isle of Dogs. Yeah, so I don't know. I find comfort in stop motions a lot. I don't know why. I did those in high school for a while. So
You did like everything in high school for a while, didn't you, Matt?
yeah.
He was, you guys know he was like a patient care technician. He's a poli sci
What?
major. I don't know why he was a patient care technician.
You're an enigma, Matt.
Really random fact. I got I think it was third place at UAL State for designing a set for drama for theater.
What?
Yeah, this man did everything.
Yeah.
All I did in high school is just wrestle, bro.
I wish I could wrestle. I feel like that's more important than designing a set. If someone fights me, what am I gonna do? Like, hey, wait, stop. Let me figure this out real quick. Let me lay down the groundwork. But yeah, no, I'd say stop motions. And then my word of advice would be just to be happy. You know, I feel like right now, especially at a time of our age where we're still learning our careers, where we're in a new city trying to find our place. I feel like a lot of people might get caught up in that and feel maybe stressed. They may have anxiety. But I'd say the best advice I could ever give someone is to find happiness within yourself. Because if you're ever alone in your life or you ever need to take a breath for yourself, you know you have yourself. You can be independent. You have that happiness that you find and that you generate for yourself. And I feel like that goes a long way.
Wow.
And we're running out of time, so I'll pass it
Good.
back to you.
Yeah. Drew, what's your? Do you think of something?
Yeah, my hot take is it's okay to be critical of what foods somebody dislikes,
Oh God,
but
yes.
not what foods somebody likes. Because if they like something, it just means they're not picky.
Okay.
But if they dislike something, that means they're picky.
I guess I respect that.
Yeah.
I respect that.
Yeah. So you could like.
So I can be mad at people who talk crap about pineapple on pizza, but I can't
Be
dog
mad.
on the person that said that they like mandarin oranges on pizza, which I heard this week.
Yeah.
Did you could dog on the person that said they don't like it,
Yeah.
Yes, because
but
that's
then they do like.
if they do,
do like
like some like
someone
if
else,
some-
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
If
I
they-
thought for some reason you were saying the exact opposite of what Drew said.
Yeah.
That's a good hot take.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Thank you.
That does, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, both of you. I feel bad I didn't give you there.
Thank you, I appreciate it. That was, but
Yeah.
mine was a stolen life advice. So.
No. The best thing
fist
in
bump-
the best
fist
things
bump
in
means
life
nothing.
are stolen ideas.
That's so true.
Before I get to mine, like I'll say, John Williams, right? Composed some of the greatest movie soundtracks of all time. This is your music bit for the week, right? He has the most Oscar nominations and wins or whatever out of like any other composer, or even I think most nominations out of anybody ever.
Yeah, he's like the Michael Phelps of the Academy.
And here's the thing, Star Wars, let's just talk about the soundtrack for Star Wars. All of those motifs and ideas were borrowed.
Wow.
And everything he writes is either borrowed from himself or people he looked up to. The sounds you hear on Star Wars are very reminiscent of Gustav Holst and the planets. Mars, Neptune, Jupiter. That's so random. Y'all did not need to know that.
Even his name is just two of the most common white names ever, John and William.
Yeah.
Like,
True.
But that
he
to be
stole
said,
those names.
yeah,
you can still
Straight up.
still be an inspiration, or you can still have a really good original thought by providing your own context and pulling meaning from something that someone else has already said or done.
True.
Anyway,
yeah.
All right, what's your?
my media recommendation of the week. I just started watching it. It's called The Bear.
Oh, dude, the Bear is
show.
fire. I watched it in 2 days.
The main actor, I originally knew him from Shameless. He's hilarious. He's an amazing actor. Today I watched an episode where he gave like a 5-minute monologue at an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting, and it was like amazing. Like it was amazing. Yeah, it's just real quickly, it's like a cooking show. This guy who went off to culinary school was a chef at the most popular, best restaurant in all of New York, if not the world. And his brother, who owned a sandwich shop in the burbs of Chicago, passed away suddenly, and he has to take over his restaurant. And it's a very stressful, but it's a really good drama. I don't know. It's been good so far. I'm still in the first season. And then my recommendation as far as life goes, this is very wholesome. Most of the time people are like, I hate people that drive trucks, or I hate
Are
white
you going to tell us
people.
not to hate white people and people that drive trucks?
No.
It's a very white person who drives a truck thing to say.
I had a very interesting interaction with a homeless person this week at Union Station, and this
They drive
story.
a truck and they were white?
No, unfortunately. That was weird.
Why?
But I was late.
That's not the reaction.
Yeah. I was late to dinner reservations with somebody, and my dad, and I was going by, and this guy stops me. There's a whole lot to the story, and I indulge him, and I listen to him, and he says some pretty like outlandish things, but he's like, you could tell when a person's a bad person when they're not a bad person. And he was very grateful. Like after I even stopped, and I gave him a couple dollars out of my wallet because I had it, like, and I wanted to be nice. I'm not like signaling that I'm like, oh, I'm good because I give homeless people money. But one of the things that stuck out to me was like, he's like, I've had 3 people tell me today that they're gonna go to the ATM, and then they just left. And you're the only person today that has actually like at least pretended or like even allowed me to talk to you. And he even said to me, he's like, I've been on the streets since like 2005.
Wow.
I've been through a lot of like hard times, but you know, I think that I still deserve to be seen as a human. And like he basically thanked me for at least like listening to him and like having a conversation with him, even though he's down on his luck. And you know, I was still in like semi-business formal clothes. Like I look like a rich young man that I'm not.
Yeah, instead of a broke college student.
Yeah. So anyway, I think the word of advice is you can find good conversation and meaning from every kind of person. And then I think not just with homeless people, but people that are different than us in any kind of way, or maybe people we have disagreements with, you forget to see the humanity in them. And so I just think it's important to indulge the conversations and interactions with people that you might have not otherwise considered, because you might get some kind of nugget of something about them or yourself or about the world, or even just have a story to tell. Like the rest of the story is hilarious. I wish I had time to tell you.
Next time
On the BLT podcast.
And nuggets are so good.
Yeah. Chicken nuggets?
Yeah. Well, just nuggets in general, but yeah, chicken nuggets specifically.
But anyway, Matt, Drew, Jeremiah, thank you for joining me. This was
thanks for having us.
It was great.
This is such a ghetto setup here on the beanbags, but we did it.
Honestly, I think this represents our living situation.
Yeah.
At the RE.
Honestly.
The next episode
This
will
was
tell you
honestly the
more.
first-
Next episode, we'll all sit on one of like the little beds they gave us.
Yeah. This was the first podcast with Brandon and Jeremiah on a beanbag that I've ever been on.
Dude, this is the first podcast with Brandon
On
Matt.
January 28th, 2024.
I've done it.
And there's no lamp. We're using a TV
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
white screen.
Look at all
Yeah,
this
yeah.
first.
I put on a YouTube.
I was gonna
video.
say, also at the Aria specifically.
Oh, 300 L Street,
Yeah,
Northeast,
300 L Street.
Washington,
yeah,
D.C.
Yeah, don't swat us.
Anyway, we just doxed ourselves. You guys have a fabulous week. Don't forget to reach out. Any comments or concerns. Follow the BLT podcast on Instagram, Facebook. These guys need to do it too.
How embarrassing.
Do all that kind of like embarrassing like and subscribe stuff. And then make sure you're keeping an eye out for Desert Echoes. Desert Echoes Band. We're going to release our first single very soon.
Let's go.
So that'll be fun.
Nice.
So anyway, y'all have a blessed week. Love you. Goodbye.
Love you too.
Bye. I love you.
Love you. Love you. I love you.
I love you.
And you.
And I love you.
We love each other.
We love you.
And I
Oh
love
wait.
you so much.
I
So much
love
love.
you.
Yeah, all right.